The National Defense Fund, providing you the support you need when you need it most. USCW Canada's National Defense Fund, the NDF, is your guarantee that in the event of a strike or lockout, you'll receive extra money every week in addition to your picket pay. The NDF was created in 1986. It's tried and true and has brought strength and peace of mind to thousands of members facing tough bargaining or a strike or lockout. The NDF is basically an insurance plan. On a weekly basis, it costs about the same as a coffee and a donut. The benefit: if you're on strike or locked out, as an NDF member, you get an extra $100 a week in your pocket on top of your regular picket pay. You and your local bargaining unit also receive many other benefits from the NDF, like strike training and picket line support to help you hold the line. The NDF can also stop strikes from happening because your employer knows that as NDF members, you have extra resources to get through a work stoppage, if that's what it takes to get a fair contract. First stop, British Columbia, to find out more.
When we needed it, most of us didn't even know what it was or didn't know it even existed. But when we really needed it, we were given this money through the National Defense Fund, which really probably helped us to survive. And I would personally like to take this opportunity to thank the people and the whole fund itself.
During that time, I had a mortgage of over $900, and without that money from the National Defense Fund, I would have lost my house.
And we're just two average people, and you know, it's well worth that money you pay. It's an investment, really.
Over the past few years, the NDF membership has doubled, with tens of thousands of USCW Canada members now enjoying the full protection of the NDF. So how do you get the NDF advantage? Joining is done on a bargaining unit by bargaining unit basis. Affiliation is not automatic. You get to decide and vote to get in. The choice is yours. That follows a general meeting where you and your fellow workers can find out more about the NDF. Then, as members of the bargaining unit, you get to vote on it. If a majority vote yes, you and your fellow workers become members of the National Defense Fund.
It's good to take the risk. If you don't buy car insurance or have an accident, you're not going to have a claim, right? $2 a week is not that bad to come up with that you're going to receive $100 back.
At this plant just outside Vancouver, workers have been members of the National Defense Fund for over a decade. Connie Oxalis was part of the bargaining committee that successfully negotiated a new collective agreement.
With this company, I'm pretty comfortable. They're paying better wages than compared to the other companies. I know this NDF is not known to everyone. Maybe we don't need it right now, but in the future, when time comes, you know, that we know that it's there. There's a help somewhere.
The NDF Fund is operated and overseen by an administration committee. The committee is made up of affiliated local union representatives from across Canada. The plan is operated under strict guidelines contained in a trust document, charter of the NDF. It details the duty of the trustees, how the funds are handled, as well as the rules of the fund. An annual audit is also required, which is presented at the annual National Defense Fund Conference and Convention. The NDF conference was first hosted in 1986 with less than 50 delegates. Now in its third decade, the conference and convention draws hundreds of delegates from a variety of sectors including red meat, poultry, flour mill, soft drink, and retail and hospitality. The growing success of the NDF is shown through lively debates, industry reporting and comparisons, and other strategic workshops to build bargaining strength and solidarity. The NDF has been part of many successful UFCW Canada battles, including some strikes which have lasted years. But once you're in, the NDF covers you, no matter how long you're out on the picket line. And it's more than extra picket pay for you. The NDF also covers many other costs to help your local union hold the line, such as legal fees, pamphlets, advertising, generators and trailers at the picket line location, for example. These costs can be very expensive, but that's not a problem when your bargaining unit is a member of the NDF. So that's another big part of the NDF advantage in achieving a fair settlement. It certainly made a difference for local 1991P members at Olymel and St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, where the employer dropped its demands for concessions and instead agreed to wage and benefit improvements, when after 3 months it realized that with the NDF behind them, the membership was ready to stay out for as long as it took to get a fair settlement. The NDF advantage also led to a better settlement for Maxi workers in Quebec, when Local 503 members were able to hold the line for 6 months with the reinforcement of the National Defense Fund.
We were able to go through, we were able to mostly to have a good settlement and a better settlement because they were part of the NDF. It's a very strong statement when we are in front of the employers. The employers know what the NDF mean. They know we are serious when we ask for what we want. So you have to they have to think about what they're going to do because we're ready for everything when we go and we are part of the NDF.
The NDF has another important benefit, prevention. As members of the NDF, your employer knows you'll have extra money coming in and that you're ready to put up a good fight because of additional NDF benefits and services like strike and lockout training for members, picket captains, and local union staff. So your NDF backup becomes a factor at the bargaining table. That's what happened in Atlantic Canada when a major multinational brewing company backed down when faced with a bargaining unit reinforced by the National Defense Fund.
In Halifax, nationally coordinated action stops InBev, a giant multinational, from moving production of Keith's beer out of the province, where it's been brewed exclusively since 1820.
During the lead-up, all employees were giving the booklet, UFCW.
Local 361 was backed up by the national office with strike and lockout training, a media campaign, and strategic bargaining, which all led to victory.
The company knew there would be a major problem for that brand if there was a labor dispute here.
But sometimes a work stoppage can't be avoided. So if push comes to shove and you have to hit the picket line, in addition to your extra picket pay and training, you and your fellow workers will have all the other NDF resources to make you stronger, determined, and ready to win.
Good day, this is Lou Craig, UFCW 401 full-time business rep. I'm on the picket line in Calgary, where Old Dutch has locked out 170 workers on March the 29th. We are therefore out on strike, on the line, and solid, and we'd like to take this time to thank NDF for supplying us with porta potties, burning wood, burning barrels, rental trailers, and everything else they do for us. Behind me, you'll see a couple porta potties paid for by the NDF, which have been put well to use out in this industrial area where we have no restaurants or other bathroom facilities, which would deprive the line of picketers until such time as they could return from their bathroom breaks. Behind me, you can see the generators that NDF has supplied, the trailer that they pay rental for. We use it as an office, so we're going to go inside and look at our setup that we have on this cold picket line. As you can see, it's a fair size. It does hold all our needed supplies. You'll see our coffee pots, our water, our check-in desks, our food tables, and our picketers that are warming up because we've had some brutal weather out here, and we're glad summer is coming.
With great soups.
So once again, a big thank you to NDF for supplying all of this for the picketers.
Yes. Thank you, NDF. Thanks, NDF. You rock. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to you guys. Shukriya, NDF.
Muchas gracias. Obrigado, NDF.
So once again, we'd like to thank NDF for supplying all this needed stuff.
Backed up by the NDF, local 401 members at Old Dutch won the lockout by holding the line for 227 days.